Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to share something that might just change your life. What if I told you that one simple habit could add a whole 10 years to your life? Not just any 10 years, but 10 healthy, vibrant, energetic years. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, the science says otherwise. Before we dive in, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on life-changing content like this. We all want to live longer, healthier lives. We spend billions on supplements, diet programs, and gym memberships. But what if the key to longevity isn't as complicated or expensive as we've been led to believe? What if it's something so simple that almost anyone can do it, regardless of age, fitness level, or economic status? Scientists have been studying the habits of the longest-lived populations around the world for decades. From the centenarians in Okinawa, Japan, to the elderly in Sardinia, Italy, researchers have been piecing together the puzzle of longevity. And while there are many factors at play, genetics, diet, environment, one habit stands out consistently across all age zones and longevity studies. This isn't some fad that will be debunked next year. This is backed by rigorous research from institutions like Harvard, Stanford, and the National Institute on Aging. We're talking about studies spanning decades with thousands of participants. The beauty of this habit is its simplicity. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need a personal trainer. You don't even need to drastically change your diet, though that certainly helps. What you need is consistency and understanding of why this works. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what this habit is, why it works on a cellular level, and how you can implement it in your life starting today. I'll share the compelling scientific evidence behind it, real stories from people who've transformed their health, and a simple framework to help you get started immediately. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to potentially adding a decade to your life. You wouldn't want that. 10 more years to spend with loved ones, pursue passions, see the world, or simply enjoy the everyday pleasures of life. So stick around, because this might just be the most important video you watch this year. In fact, it might be the video that gives you an extra decade of life. From Future, we're incredibly grateful to present who took these few minutes to make this life-extending habit. Let's get into it. So, what is this life-extending habit meant to do? It's regular, moderate-intensity physical activity. That's right, consistent routine throughout your life can add up to a decade to your lifespan. But before you look away thinking, I already knew exercise was good for me, let me share some fascinating science that might just motivate you to make this a non-negotiable part of your routine. Let's start with the lab research. In Harvard and Stanford, a study published in the Lancet found over 130,000 people across 17 countries for nearly 7 years. The findings were clear. Those who engaged in regular movement helped increase compared to those who researchers extrapolated this finding to they found that consistent physical activity could lead to 10 years to one's life. How exactly does movement extend our lives? It all comes down to what happens at the cellular level. One of the most groundbreaking discoveries in longevity research involves telomeres, the protective caps at the end of our chromosomes. Think of them like the plastic tips at the end of shoelaces. Every time our cells divide, these telomeres get shorter, and when they get too short, the cell can no longer divide and become senescent or dies. Here's where it gets interesting. Chronic stress, inflammation, and oxidative damage accelerate telomere shortening. But regular physical activity does the opposite. A study from Brigham Young University found that people who performed moderate-intensity exercise had telomeres that appeared to be 9 years younger than those who were sedentary. Essentially, consistent movement helps preserve your DNA. Dr. Elizabeth, Blackburn, who won the Nobel Prize for her work on telomeres, explains it this way. When you exercise, you're not just building muscle and improving your cardiovascular health. You're literally protecting your genetic material from aging. But that's not all. Regular movement also activates a process called autophagy, essentially your cell's cleaning crew. This process removes damaged cell components, reducing the risk of cancer and preventing the accumulation of the protein plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease. Physical activity also dramatically improves your body's insulin sensitivity. Poor insulin sensitivity is associated with nearly every chronic disease, from diabetes to heart disease to certain cancers. By maintaining healthy insulin response through regular movement, you're protecting yourself from the diseases that typically cut lives short. The cardiovascular benefits are perhaps the most well-known. Regular physical activity strengthens your heart, improves circulation, and reduces blood pressure. It helps maintain healthy cholesterol levels and reduces inflammation in your arteries. Considering that cardiovascular disease remains the leading cause of death globally, these benefits alone could add years to your life. What's particularly encouraging about all this research is that you don't need to become a marathon runner or spend hours in the gym. The studies consistently show that moderate activity, think brisk walking for 30 minutes most days, is enough to trigger these longevity benefits. In fact, research from the Cooper Institute suggests that moving from being completely sedentary to just moderately active provides the biggest jump in lifespan extension. The science is clear. Consistent, moderate physical activity is one of the most powerful interventions for extending your life. It's not about intense workout regimens or extreme sports. It's about regular movement integrated into your daily life. The science is compelling, but sometimes what really drives the message home are the stories of real people who've transformed their lives through movement. Let me share a few remarkable examples. Take Margaret, who at 67 was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and was told she might need a knee replacement soon. Her doctor gave her a stark choice: start moving regularly or prepare for a difficult final chapter of her life. Margaret began with just 5 minutes of walking per day. That's all she could manage at first. Fast forward 3 years, and she's now walking 5K events, has reversed her diabetes, normalized her blood pressure, and strengthened the muscles around her knee enough to avoid surgery altogether. Her biological markers now resemble those of someone 15 years younger. Or consider Robert, a former executive who suffered a heart attack at 52. During his recovery, he incorporated daily movement into his routine. Nothing extreme, just consistent activity throughout the day. Now, at 70, he has the cardiovascular fitness of a healthy 55-year-old. His doctors are amazed by his recovery and often use him as an example when counseling other patients. These stories aren't anomalies. Research consistently shows that it's never too late to start. A study from the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that previously inactive adults who began regular physical activity in their 50s and 60s reduced their mortality risk to nearly the same level as those who'd been active their entire lives, within just a few years. So how do you apply this to your own life? Let me break it down into a simple framework that anyone can follow. First, aim for consistency over intensity. The research is clear that regular, moderate movement provides the greatest longevity benefits. Start with 30 minutes of activity most days of the week. This doesn't need to be consecutive. 3 10-minute sessions provide similar benefits. Second, find activities you genuinely enjoy. The best exercise for longevity is the one you'll actually do consistently. Do you like dancing? That counts. Gardening? Absolutely. Walking while catching up with a friend? Perfect. The goal is sustainable movement that you look forward to rather than dread. Third, incorporate movement throughout your day. Research on the active couch potato phenomenon shows that even if you exercise regularly, sitting uninterrupted for hours negates many of the benefits. Set a timer to stand and move for 2 minutes every hour. Take phone calls while walking. Choose the stairs when possible. These micro-movements add up significantly over time. Fourth, gradually increase your activity as your fitness improves. Your body adapts remarkably quickly, so what challenges you today will feel easy in a few weeks. When something becomes too comfortable, add a little more. Walk a little farther, pick up the pace slightly, or add a gentle hill to your route. Fifth, emphasize recovery and sleep. Quality sleep amplifies the longevity benefits of physical activity. Movement improves sleep quality, and good sleep enhances your ability to move well. It's a virtuous cycle that compounds over time. The key to making this habit stick is starting small and building gradually. Many people fail because they try to completely transform their lifestyle overnight. Instead, begin with just 5 minutes daily, a duration so easy that you can't say no. Then gradually increase as it becomes part of your routine. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress and consistency over time. The occasional missed day won't impact your longevity, but abandoning the habit altogether certainly will. Let's pull everything together now. We've covered the compelling scientific evidence showing how regular, moderate physical activity can add up to a decade to your life. We've examined how this works at the cellular level, protecting your telomeres, activating cellular cleanup processes, improving insulin sensitivity, and strengthening your cardiovascular system. We've heard stories of real people who've transformed their health through movement, and we've outlined a practical framework for integrating this habit into your life. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity and accessibility. You don't need expensive equipment or a complicated regimen. You just need to make movement a consistent part of your day, every day. And the payoff is extraordinary. Not just more years of life, but more life in your years. Think about what an extra decade might mean for you. That's 10 more years to see your children or grandchildren grow up. 10 more years to pursue passions and projects. 10 more years of holidays, celebrations, quiet mornings, and beautiful sunsets. When framed this way, taking a daily walk seems like a small price to pay, doesn't it? I want to address a common concern. What if I've been inactive for years? Is it too late for me? The research is incredibly encouraging on this point. Studies show that previously sedentary adults who begin regular activity see dramatic improvements in their health markers within just weeks. Your body wants to heal and strengthen. You just need to give it the right stimulus through consistent movement. Another concern I hear often is, I don't have time to exercise. But remember, we're not talking about spending hours in the gym. We're talking about integrating movement throughout your day. Taking the stairs, walking while on phone calls, doing a few squats while waiting for your coffee to brew. These moments add up significantly over time. And honestly, if the potential reward is an extra decade of life, can you really afford not to find those few minutes each day? So here's my challenge to you. Start today with just 5 minutes of movement. That's it. Then gradually build from there. Maybe next week it becomes 7 minutes, then 10. Before you know it, you'll have established a habit that could literally extend your life by years. Document your journey. Take note of how you feel after a few weeks of consistent movement. Many people report better sleep, improved mood, and more energy long before they see any physical changes. These early wins can help reinforce your new habit. If you found value in this video, please hit that like button. It helps more people find this potentially life-changing information. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based content on living longer and better. Hit the notification bell too so you never miss an upload. Drop a comment below sharing how you plan to incorporate more movement into your day. I read every comment, and our community here is incredibly supportive. You might just find an accountability partner or get some great ideas from others. Remember, the best time to start was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. So get up, get moving, and add those years to your life and more life to your years. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.